You know how last time I said that we were going to continue on with Kanto 8? Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we did a little bit of Kanto 8, reaching Hong Lu's home, doing a little bit of training. This time we'll be going onto the Refraction Railway. We are a couple days out, about a week out, from line 5 closing, so we will enter. Refraction Railway is typically the most difficult content in the game. You'll have a certain amount of, in this one, for line 5, we have a certain amount of turns that we have to clear each section. The big gimmick with line 5 is that we are set up to be, we have 3 sections. Sections 1 and 2 use 2 separate teams, and then section 3 can use everyone. We have not faced the final enemy on here yet. I think... Let's see... I mean, luckily we do actually have 2 pretty solid teams on here, so... Let's actually just get these set up. Actually set ourselves up with our sinking and rupture team. I guess we'll just toss you onto there, that's fine. Of course, this does mean that we'll have a little bit of oddness with some of our units. We won't need... I don't think we'll need Hong Lu. Go you... do that instead, and then, in case we need them... So yeah, identities participating in Section 1 cannot participate in Section 2. Technically, it is possible to be locked out of doing this by only having one ID of a certain sinner, but like, it's so uncommon for that to happen. You like have to go out of your way to do that. So we have herding Teddy Bear. Of course, we have faced Teddy before. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult. Of course, being in a sinking team doesn't really... actually, it probably would have been better for Section 2 to have the sinking team, but whatever. That's fine. A little bit of unluck from Roja, but nothing too bad on there. I don't think we'll have too much difficulty with the railway. Just because we have some pretty solid units here. Obviously, we are benefited by being pretty late by doing this quite a while after it initially came out, so actually we want to have Gregor clash that. Everything should be clashed. So we have some stronger units. Honestly, not that many, though. Railway hasn't been updated in a while, of course. As you might have seen, it was the level 50 cap. Railway 5 was released at the, not at the end. I think it came out, like, relatively early on into, into Season 6. Yeah. So, around Kanto 7. I think it's how it's organized. I don't remember exactly. Point is, we're always a little bit old. And that does mean that Kanto 8 did not have a railway come out with it. I believe Railway 6 is going to have... because the big thing with the railways is kind of showcasing the, I guess, capstone capstone abnormalities. So, for example, our last one on here is going to be 400 roses, which is the... That's what Yearning Merkala is for. And then we have... I forget exactly... I want to say it's Yinglong, and... I forget exact... It's like Threadspun Butterfly or something like that. I forget the exact naming of this. Point is, for Tears of Tarnished Blood and Great Triolocosm, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but yeah. Shouldn't be too bad for us. I don't know if we'll... I don't exactly know what the turn limits are for the best rewards off the top of my head. With Railway 5, after each enemy defeated, you will get a different buff. Enemies will also get a buff alongside it. They're fine. I'm going to go with Infliction Refraction. Just because. And we'll do that there. A bit disappointed by Gregor's clashing ability. That's fine. I think it's just the skill 1 is pretty bad. It's 1 coin, not great power, but still. Rose Hunter, I think I brought this up when we were in the Kanto 7 dungeon. I had a lot of problems with Rose Hunter my first playthrough, but since fighting him, he's actually not too bad. Rose Hunter, big thing with Rose Hunter is that it's got horrible HP. Rose Hunter is squishy as hell. It is a little bit annoying that we have this underway, but nothing we can't deal with. God, I haven't gotten to see Fainting Aroma Ryoshu yet too much. It's such a fun ID. There's a couple IDs that are similar where it's just like 8 billion skills on one turn. Obviously, Solid Aroma, or what even is the actual nomenclature of it? Faint Aroma. Let me double check exactly what it is. Faint Aroma Solitude, that's what I'm getting screwed up on. Faint Aroma Solitude Ryoshu is super fun for the... like, it's one of the 8 billion skill ones. I'm gonna go and oppose on one. There's also T-Corp, or Yuradivi, sorry. Yuradivi Ryoshu also does a lot of extra skills. And then Night Owl's Gregor is also another billion skills one. You can also kind of make a bunch of extra skills with the Captain Ishmael. Which, I forget exactly what, I think it's Pet God Captain Ishmael. is what the actual name of it is. And we're so close. Right there. Ah, well. It's like any of these IDs that just do a ton of skills, it's all just so fun to watch them. Because it's like, alright, cool, we're using another skill now. And just shoot that to be... Yeah, like, right there, we had the... I think it was the skill 1 triggers because of us having it to pass a stagger threshold, I think. Then we get another one trigger again for having the... we don't really get poised too much. Here. Some P.E.K.K.A. at this point. Yeah, we had the first one goes off thanks to the I think it's the stagger threshold. I don't remember exactly. Then we have another one goes off because of us running out of ammo. And then enough Blossom, or whatever the actual thing is called, the status that she inflicts is called Petal. It may just be Petals. That caused the skill 3 to trigger again. I do need to learn Phanorma Solitude a little bit more. Well, eventually I do. I do hope to do something along the lines of making guides for every single ID. Like, go over why is this ID good, how can you use it super well, stuff like that. I'm going to focus down on... Really? Who are you targeting? You're targeting Donkey. Well, sucks for her. So we're actually just... we can't even... I think the evade is also going on to her. No, evade's going on to Roja. Here, I can do that, and then... There. Sure. Why not? In terms of the gimmicks, Railway 5 it might be the easiest one. I have only played 5 and 1 Bokgak, but just from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like it's the most difficult one out there. Mainly just in terms of, again, you have all the gimmicks, you have all the buffs, all that stuff with it. Damn. Ooh. Ooh. But obviously, you just have the big difficulty comes in the fact that you have a lot of, the enemies just get tougher over time. And in terms of the game, I mean, yeah. Let's go Penitence. Just get a little bit of extra damage in. Because it's... Yeah, it's the Murcitas, whatever. 3 is probably the scariest P.E.K.K.A. that we have so far. Just because it does have access to Sinking Deluge, which is always a problem. Yeah, I mean it is on hit without cracking, but it also rolls a 20, so So it's not insignificant. Where is... Okay, Prescript is in fact going to you. I'm not particularly worried about you. Let's do that. Can at least take advantage of the sloth fragility. God damn. Eri are always difficult, but I'm still more intimidated by the Morostatus. What the fuck? Wait. Did I not? Yeah, whatever. Faint Aroma, that's what it's called. And, okay. You are the index target. And... yeah, we'll toss Gregor in just to be safe. I don't think we'll really have to worry about it. Yeah. Better safe than sorry. This one went a little bit iffily, but we should be able to manage. Maybe I should have just... Come on, Yusang, really? Just gonna waste your skill like that? Ah, well. On turn 16. Do you want to do that? Actually, I want to do that. I believe the currently, as far as I know, record for all three, 3 paths is like 18 turns or something like that. That's... I don't care enough about that. Now we're gonna go into negative Sanity Roja. And... gonna go on to Fractured Rupture, because we're going to go into the High Show team next. As we meet Sleeping Bag of a Bygone Day. Sleeping Bag is actually not really all that difficult. Very much in a couple patterns, but let's see. So the body is the target of the Prescript, so we'll go into there. Really the big thing with Sleeping Bag is that Sleeping Bag very much ramps up. You can see it on that. So the longer the fight goes, the more difficult Sleeping Bag tends to get. Thing is that it is also quite the bulky boy. Which obviously doesn't help. And alright, good to know. That's a shame. Actually, you might as well go after the other piece, because we have it. Why not? Honestly, like, Sleeping Bag isn't terribly difficult. bad fight. Sleeping Bag is the abnormality behind what's it actually called? Behind Thoracalgia. Which is an ID, or which is an ego that both of okay, good. That Faust and Ryoshu both have. And we'll body sack just to be safe. As well as the Nebulizer Ego Gift. I don't know if we've seen Body Bag used. I'm sure we have seen Body Bag get used since the end of Canto 5, Canto 6? 6. That unlocks the person inside. However, the prescript says that we attack not the person, so guess we ain't attacking the person. With Dawn, at least. Bing, bing, bing. And 468 HP. We're getting him down. Yeah, so just on through. The great skull rears its head with a loud creaking noise. An eerie cackle echoes. Underneath the calmed air vibrates an explosive energy. The skull is preparing to launch a powerful attack. Yet it must have overstrained itself. The body cracks and wavers, giving us an opening. I'd better to attack the opening on its body instead of waiting for it to attack us. What should we do? Yeah, we're going to attack the body. Frontline cinders quickly dashed into the opening and struck the abnormality's body. The crack in its torso grows even wider, opening into a crevice. At that moment, I felt a pair of eyes peering at me from utter darkness past the bones. He does double damage on crit, but also we just kind of do more damage to him. So what we're going to do is we are doing a lot less damage than I thought we would. 33. Okay. I was worried if Rojo would be able to clear him beforehand. Nebulizer is really good. Yeah, no, we're gonna grab Nebulizer. Thank you, Queen of Hatred. Yeah, Nebulizer is one of the best ego gifts in Mirror Dungeon because it's very, very reliable. I don't, hold up. Okay, so yeah, we do have, I'll grab all of them there. But, we'll go on to section 2 at this point, where we'll hop onto Rupture Team. Grab you. Grab you. And I do not have you. Good to know. Alright. Bum, bum, bum. Bum. No. Oops. Forgot that I had High Show Greg. At this point, we're moving on to Envy Picatula. Envy Picatula are just your own IDs, but obviously slightly different. Right away, we're going against all the ammo IDs. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's kind of our best bet. We really just have to kind of... Yeah. We had to hope that Heathcliff whirled tails, but he did not. It's not the biggest deal for us, really. And at this point, yeah, we just keep going on through. Now, Envy Bacashula are an interesting concept, but I feel like they kind of fall short in one specific way that we'll see shortly. Rude. After turn 1, they kind of just become ego spam, usually, which is a shame. These fights could be a lot more interesting if it didn't just turn into ego right away, but alas, it does. Let's see, so you are 6 going after Otis. So I think what we do is that. God damn, you're fast. Alright. It's Power Guard. Go with you. Boop and boop. Sure. Yeah, you were so close to stagger, so it's best if I just take him out right then. Yeah. Yeah, this Heathcliff has been... Full stop Heathcliff has been wrecking my shit. Which is quite the shame. Honestly, Yatsunada is easier for me to take on. Blind Obsession Ryoshu. It's going after Ishii. We'll do that. Yeah, again, Yatsunada is easier to take on than Headshot, so it kind of nerfed himself by going for the ego. Still carve the Path of the Lord. Yeah, it's a good thing that I set 2 people to attack LCCB Ryoshu, because otherwise we were gonna get our shit rocked by Blind Obsession. And Lasso Honglu is so weak. I really wish it was better, just in terms of actually using it. It's... Honestly, Lasso Honglu might be up there for my least favorite ego, just because it is so underwhelming in its power. And it's rolling a 16. It's nothing. And I did not expect... I don't know why I didn't expect Malfaust to do not that much damage. Oh well. Never punished. I don't think we really need that. Life or Death could be interesting. Bloody Bank would also be really nice. Let's go with... No, we'll go Life or Death. Why not? And okay, Kurakumo team right away. Kurakumo is... This fight can be pretty tricky if you get bad luck. Because the big thing with Kurakumo is that they are a Lust Resonance team. And they... Boy howdy, do they have a lot of strength if they manage to get their Lust Resonance off. If they get 3 Lust Resonance, then the allies closest to Ishmael in speed will gain Unbreakable Coins, which, and I think they also do a little bit more damage. And Heathcliff will also do an unopposed attack as skill 1. If they get 4, everyone gets the Unbreakable Coins. And then at a certain point, I forget exactly what. I think it might just be. I think there is a certain total sin requirement, but after stagger or defeat, then Heathcliff will use his very strong counter at least 2 coins. Heathcliff is very strong. And really, it's between Heathcliff and Ishmael. They make the team work really well. Honestly, Kurakumo is one of my more favorite teams. I very much enjoy the Kurakumo team. Kurakumo team is very fun. Yeah, we should be fine like that. I don't know how much certainty I'll say it with, but Kurakumo was probably my second favorite team. I love Blood Fiend team, but just the fun that you have with Kurakumo, I like it. Middle is getting up there as well. It's the same sort of thing where it's because of the sin resonance as opposed to like a team resonance and yeesh. We'll do that. Still struggling. Hopeless on there. Jesus. Magic Bullet's going rough. Yeah, and you have 30 SP already. I'm not too terribly worried about either of those, to be honest. So I'm just gonna hope we can stagger beforehand. Now, on one hand, the fluid sac is definitely a better HE. I don't speak Hebrew. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. It's a better ego in that slot. But Command Meltdown is still very fun. Whew, we are shredding them right now. Oh, that's right. I was like, Why is she doing that? It's because of interaction with... Oof. You know what? We simply win. Oh yeah, Hierarch Ishmael and Horse Yi Sang are very good with each other. Yeah, we're gonna go Bloody Banquet. And this gets us to the final boss of their Flushoots. Apparently can't fit it in there. Their Flushoots is the abnormality of Fell Bullet. We do have Fell Bullet on on Heathcliff. There is also a Fell Bullet Yi Sung, both ID and Ego. Their Flushoots is also a... Okay, so the names change, but is a variant of... why can't I remember his name? Oh my god, why can I not remember... Why can I not remember the goat's name? That's their Flushoots. Why? Oh my god, why can I... It's Magic Bullet, but I can't remember the actual abnormality's name. They're Freischütz. Their Flushoots is quite the interesting fight, which I'm sure we'll get to see in a moment. Just gotta let him shoot us for a moment. As one does. Maybe we could have tried to get out of the way or something. And I actually don't know when the gimmick actually starts. I'm assuming at stagger, but... I see why I had forgotten what their Freischütz's name was, because it's very similar to their Flushoots. So, like, yeah. It's just because I am a Cilium Billium. Boom, boom. Alright. Now we get into the real stuff. Eventually, he'll go into this form, go into the second phase, and we'll summon 3 different units, as well as use target readjustment fire. If it hits the target of the target readjustment fire, they will just fucking explode. And every other coin will do a lot of damage. Like, it's a very powerful skill. So basically, your big thing is you want to make sure that you take out whoever it is that has stigmatized. All these guys are weak to blunt, or not weak to blunt, weak to blunt, weak to slash on you. Yeah, we'll go with that. And I just want to be extra safe that I don't mess that up. These, you actually do hit for quite a bit. I just want to be extra safe that I can take out the target ahead of time. Okay, good. Damn. And luckily we've been in this fight for long enough that we do get the big boy. I think I may have slightly screwed up the reading on that one, but readjustment fire is the bigger one to make sure that you take care of. Not that designated target fire isn't rough, but it can do quite a bit. It's readjustment fire that you really need to worry about. Here we'll do those and get full gluttony resonance. Yeah, I assumed that just Faust would be fine, but again, better safe than sorry. Target readjustment fire can mess you up. And again, not that designated target fire is not painful, but it's nowhere near the level of target readjustment. Now, it managed to stagger Ishmael. Let's do 2. And then Sinclair should be able to take him out with skill 3. Unless he gets staggered here. Which would be a shame. Okay, good. And goes right on to their Flushits. Target readjustment fire has no more allies to take care of. Which means that he staggers. And then this will trigger another Crimson Spring. So free skill 3. Yeah, not too bad. Their Flushits can be a little bit tricky. But just, you have to take a couple hits here and there, which is a shame, but well worth it. We're gonna go with Lone Gunman. Get ourselves some more skill 3s. And we have our last one up here, and I think we'll add you, and that's we'll do that. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. start off with Dulcinea as our opponent, which surely this can't go wrong. And well, start off with no SP, which is a shame. But we should be able to gain that pretty quick, like. Hopefully. We're not going to be doing too much damage against Dulcinea, but... Okay, good. We literally cannot lose that one. And there we go, bang bang. Really silent. And right away we can just unlock Donkey. And Prescript says we're still doing this. So let's do... Yeah, we'll do that. So actually... more like that. And we got the Dulcinea fight, which Dulcinea, again, can be a little bit tricky. She does roll very high. Of course, the blood bags are very strong. Like, honestly, the blood bags are... I mean, now it's a little bit different. At the time, I think they were by far the toughest generic enemy. And very bad luck on Faust. That's fair, that one at least was against Dulcinea. And perfect. We're gonna ignore the staggered unit. Just cuz. Why not? And Faust, come on, Faust. Has not won a single clash yet in Section 3. And good lord, this is some rough luck right now. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, Faust still is now 0 for 4 on her clashes. Prescript is going against you as you're using Parade Repeats for Eternity. I don't trust Faust. I do not trust Faust at all right now. Oh, now she hits all of her head's coins. Couldn't do that when you had a clash on the line. I see how it is. Just to remain oneself should just get us... it might end up killing... No, okay. Pop you. Who's that that's staggered? I don't know. Otis, I think. Or Ryoshu, whoever it was. It was done, actually. Okay. I do need some healing. And it's not much. Let's do... Alright. Faust, can you please win a clash? Finally. Faust has won a clash. It's truly a miracle. I think, since it's unbreakable coins, this should be a Crimson Spring? No, okay. It's just when it's the 3-2. Not bad, not bad. We're doing some decent work on Dulcinea. Alright, I believe this is Yisong going in? Yes. Yisong is actually capable of winning clashes. I got the path of a lord. We staggered Dulcinea. Prescript says go for the twink. That's fine. And damn, can't redirect it. Let's go. Yeah, all in. There we go. Finally, 2 clashes. Let's go! And not even her turn. Yeah, let me just use 3 skills real quick. On not my turn. There we go. And this one will send out a Crimson Spring if she even survives, which she does. 12 HP. For Ishmael to cut through. Let's see. We're mostly gluttony. As we get more Picatula. Let's see. Do that. Luckily, I know Blood Fiends quite well. You have to do a Fluid Sac here. Yeah, let's avoid. Let's do our evade. Nice. Thank you. Pow pow. Ow. Rude. It's very rude of you, Greg. Jesus, that's a lot of damage. That's a high roll. 26 on a skill 2. As one does. You're the prescript target. I'm sure it's fine. Ugh. It's not fine. How close we're to a magnificent end? Answers that question. Of course, follow the will of the prescript. And yeah, it's fine. I thought this was a longer fight, or like this was a longer stage. Oh, that's right. I know Blood Fiends well! I entirely forgot that Gregor actually has live on 1 HP. I believe he was the first ID to have that once per encounter survive all damage on 1 HP. Though at this point there are a few IDs with it. Not too many, but there's a handful. Just gonna go Refracted Mind. As we go against Blood Fiend Trio at this point. And Nicolina is our prescript target. And that should be fine. Really, Faust? Come on, Faust. You are incredibly disappointing. Good to know at least... See, at least Ishmael is not even getting the opportunity to lose a clash. It's a 32 roll. It's kind of a shame that Priest and Barber never actually get given their names in here. Like on the, on their title cards. Like Dulcinea gets it, sure. I mean, I get it. She is the most important of the three. But, like, we do know that it's Coriambro and Nicoletta. Again, I keep forgetting if it's Nicoletta or Nicolina. I think it's Lena. Like, we know that's what their names are. Again, I forget exactly how we know that that's what their names are, but it is. It could just be, it could just be due to, the outside influence. But, the actual stuff with Don Quixote. But, technically I think all this would be Man of La Mancha. I am not terribly familiar with Don Quixote. I know the general gist that, like, it exists. And I do know that our character, Don Quixote, little gremlin lady, Madame Gremlin, is a hybridization of Don Quixote and Man of La Mancha, which was I believe it's a musical, or opera, technically, based off of Don Quixote. Well, you have certain things involved with Don Quixote's story that are more that are Man of La Mancha exclusive, quote-unquote exclusive. Like, I believe Dulcinea was, like, the... not paramour, but... almost like, you know, the princess locked away in the castle for Don Quixote to save. Something along those lines. She was the main love interest in the musical opera thing. I'm very good at descriptions. I really should, like, actually read at least some of the source materials. There's some I'm definitely not going to. Like, I am not going to go through and read all of Dream of Red Chamber, because things like 2,000 pages long, which is way too much. I can't read that. I can't read that many words. Another interesting thing about all of this... screw it. High risk. Interesting thing about the Blood Fiend trio is that there's stuff in there that alludes to a Coriambro solo fight that just doesn't exist. So, you know, that's neat. Jesus. 400 roses. One thing I will say, the battle themes for the end of Railroad bosses are incredible. I forget the exact names of them. Let me see if I can find them. But, again, Studio EIM does such a good job with the music in this. Alright. 400 Roses also is a little bit of a ramp up. Not quite to the level of Sleeping Bag, I don't think, but can definitely ramp up. What is the name? For 400 Roses, it's, we have Meirelinke and Ne Meirelinke. For the first and second phases. Go figure, there's 2 phases. And then, King and Bind is the other big one. Not that there haven't been, you know, other quote-unquote exclusive fights before then. And then King and Binds has Audite Pauper and Vovete Miserias. Again, all of them sound so, like, the music's fantastic. Don's gonna die very soon. The rose gushes up the flood of blood, glistening in crimson. Even this inundation of blood wasn't enough. Its glossy eyes glowers at the sinners from beneath the petals. Yeah, clean up the blood. Sinners busily ran about cleaning up as much blood as they can from the premise, facing even greater dearth of blood. Its petals begin to shudder uncannily as the thorns rise threateningly. 2 attack power up, Jesus. No bleed on you yet, surprisingly. Brambles that constrict. I think we just go after the head. Maybe I should have tried to heal up Donkey, but oh well. We have a lot of sinners that we can spare. And see, we're still fine. I'm hearing alarm bells. Yeah, you're... I mean, they're not necessarily bells. It's more so, you know, we've got our alarm violins going off. No, do not fire bullets. Yeah, that'll be fine. I definitely prefer Audite Miserias over... Oh, damn. Over Nebe Linke. Yeah, Yinglong for... we have already seen in the trailer Yinglong, not in action, but we have seen Yinglong a little bit, at least. 81 damage for Crow's Eye View ain't bad. Yeah, he's starting to do some hefty damage. And No Honglu's getting a little bit low on HP, so that's why I popped that. Popped the thing. Already, I'm very descriptive, I know. And Faust still has so much HP right now. It's crazy, considering how much she got her ass kicked. Let's actually change that to asymmetrical inertia. That'll be fine. Alright. Because they subbed in, and we have Lord Honglu. There's some weird interactions with Lord Honglu. I mean, like, it all makes sense in terms of, like, mechanically, but there's still just some weirdness with it. Clockwork Time Roly-Poly is a fantastic name. One thing I do kind of want to see a quote-unquote, like, Lobotomy Corporation 2 with, like, a bunch new abnormalities, because there can be so much fun with them. Like, if you added every abnormality that you have in Limbus, you can have a lot of work with that. You can have, roll... Let's ignore them. We agreed not to feed it blood. Dissatisfaction begets frustration, it seems. The rose raises its sharp thorns and charges the sinners. And, I mean, it doesn't matter what Ryoshu does. She's about to die anyways. Polydipsic Thorn will bramble that constrict. You should survive that to do the whole thing, probably. But like, if you bring in all the Limbus abnormalities, you bring in the 3 that were introduced in library. Asterisk next to that. There's Wonder Lab and some weirdness with that. Some of them were technically introduced in Wonder Lab, but you know, you introduce all of that, then like there's a lot of fun that you could have with more abnormalities. And this is remarkably easier. Yeah, let's keep going after the body. Do that and there. Ah, I see. I was about to say, oh, we're completely fine because we're going after the head with all of the unopposed attacks, and the counter's on the... Or we're going after the body, and the counter's on the head. Apparently not. 'Twas foolish of me to think such a thing. Okay. We'll just keep you going on there. I'm surprised Hong Lu is still alive. But, oh well. I mean, I'm not complaining. Ow. Ow. Well, okay. He's alive because we have the, HP, or the heal on damage. That's why he's still alive. Nearly staggered the body again. God damn, that's such a strong move. I mean, Yearning Recall is a very strong ego. I definitely prefer... yeah. I prefer Dawn's Yearning Recall more, but... you know. They're still both very good ego. Oh! Oh, my bones! I was about to say, is Hong Lu unkillable right now? No. Oh, okay. He kind of is, because Lord Hong Lu has an effect where he can just survive the end. I was about to say, I was surprised that it only did 125, but that's because it only needed to do 125. Yeah, 400 Roses can inflict a lot of damage. Not necessarily the scariest in terms of health, but you gotta rush them down pretty much. 59 turns, I think it's 20 turns each. Which, not bad, necessarily. But, with all of that finished, going to our Lost and Found, where we get Season 5. Yeah, you can tell it's a little bit old. But we'll grab all of these. And you know what? we're gonna do some nice celebration pulls. First, we're gonna get our guaranteed Season 5. Who do we got? ABS Faust. Very first 3-star that I ever got. Terrible introductory 3-star, but very fun unit. We'll go into her in a moment. We are going to go for our pulls on Capstone Ryoshu, just because we have it right now. And that's why we do this. And we'll save the other one. ABS Faust. Big thing is her self-burn. She does a lot of damage to herself with burn. Also, never can die to burn. Flick a lot of burn, and then eventually at 30 burn or low enough health, she will fucking explode. And do quite a bit of damage, but less than you like for fucking exploding. Blade of the House of Spiders, Ryoshu is very fun ID. Works super well with the other units that are from the season. We only have, I think, the one. I think we only have Dawn. Anyone with the House of Spiders. Of course, we'll go into more detail about all this stuff later, but I will, of course, have... I mean, I'm going to be using this for the actual Kanto, but that's a ways off. But next time we actually go into Kanto 8 a little bit more, but until then, see you guys later.